Hello everybody and welcome to the Bulls Radio Feature of the Week. We are out here at USF Pro Day alongside Marja Martinez and Khris Johnson. I am Tyler Crane. Marja, there's been a lot of great things going on for a couple players out here, a couple of players not doing so hot.
Yeah. We've seen some outstanding performances from Carlton Mitchell, Jerome Murphy, as well as George Selvey, and some not so outstanding performances, but let's hope for the best.
Yeah, we had some interesting goings-on with Nate Allen. Dropped a couple balls. He didn't actually participate in the 40-yard dash. It's a little interesting, wouldn't you say, Khris?
Definitely interesting in the fact that he didn't do the 40-yard dash whatsoever. I mean, he couldn't do it in the combine because he injured himself, and so he didn't want to run then. Didn't run at the pro day, and I think everyone expected him to. Not necessarily hurting his draft status, probably much at all, but just something that every single team kind of wants to know on any player they're going to draft is their 40 time.
Well, let's talk about the draft. There's about 6 players here that could possibly get drafted to the NFL this coming April, and we're talking about Jason Pierre-Paul, George Selvey, Nate Allen, Keon Wilson. We're talking about Carlton Mitchell and Jerome Murphy. There's a lot of potential there for a lot of these players to make a lot of money going into the NFL, especially some of the first rounders.
Although there's no question about the first rounders. I mean, you look at Jason Pierre-Paul, who's probably going to be in the top 10 in the first round of this draft. Didn't really hurt his status, didn't really help his status much. I think solidified his spot as really a dominant defensive end coming into this draft. One of the best on the boards, the top on a lot of boards of people out there. Someone else, I guess, a first rounder almost is Nate Allen. I think he's kind of slipping out of the first round, especially the fact that he dropped some balls, didn't run that 40. Second round draft pick or so. George Selvey maybe second to third round pick, but you're right, a lot of these players from USF, the biggest pro day that USF has ever had, the best players ever coming out of this program. So I think things are looking up for USF, and you're gonna have some good draft picks from this part of the state.
Marja, let's talk about how these 6 fared here today at Pro Day. The top standout performers were definitely Jerome Murphy and Carlton Mitchell.
Yeah, actually, Murphy surprised me. This season, he hasn't shown too much discipline with all the penalties he cost the Bulls, but he showed great fundamentals during backpedal drills, and he really blew us away today with his execution. Now, Mitchell, he's been great throughout the season, dropped a couple of passes, but for the most part, really consistent. He had a 4.4 on the 40, great in position drills, and I got the chance to speak to Mitchell, and what impressed me most was how ready he is mentally and physically. He said, quote, "The NFL doesn't need me," end quote, and I feel like it's helped him develop that mindset and come out here with something to prove and a spot to earn.
If I would have stayed another year, of course, it would have been more experience, but at the same time, like, my passion, my love for this game, and my maturity level, I feel as though I'm there, and I'm ready, and I know I can help another NFL team.
Those were the 2 players that stood out and really helped their draft positions, but a lot of the scouts' attention was given to the 2 major defensive line prospects, Jason Pierre-Paul and George Selvey.
Absolutely. Pierre-Paul actually stood by his combine 40 time. He showed great power and explosion during his position drills, and his energy and power were outstanding. It's no wonder he's projected to be a top 10 pick. Now, Selvey had a 4.88 on his 40, demonstrated great techniques, but many scouts still consider him a tweener at the NFL level. I have to disagree. I think he has great potential, and given an opportunity, he'll prove it.
While much attention was given to the defensive end prospects, the 2 players that were the heart and soul of the Bulls' defense last year, safety Nate Allen and middle linebacker Keon Wilson, didn't do much to either hurt or help their draft position today.
Yeah, I have to agree. Nate Allen, he didn't run the 40, not here, not at the NFL Combine, and he had the best 3-cone and shuttle drill times of all 16 players who participated in Pro Day, but that's not saying much because he still looked a little bit slow out there. Now, Keon Wilson, he had a 4.84 at the 40, which was faster than his NFL Combine, but not much of an intense work day for Wilson. He really failed to really stand out.
Well, it would be my life to get drafted, just simply because this is something that I've always looked forward to as a child, growing up in Miami, not the best of situations, and just having the opportunity to do for my family and do for my mom. It's a great situation to be in, and I plan on taking advantage of it.
Well, that does it for the Bulls Radio Feature of the Week. Tune into Bulls Radio to get continuing coverage of what these players are up to as they continue to prepare for the NFL Draft. Will your favorite USF player end up on your favorite NFL team? For Khris Johnson and Marja Martinez, I'm Tyler Crane. Thanks for watching.
If I could play for any team in the NFL, it would be any of the Florida teams. Great fishing.
All right, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just missed a phone call.
Sorry.
See what he goes through for you?
It's my mom.